You don't need to be a board game designer to feel when a game just clicks. It's that moment where your choices start to feel meaningful, the theme supports the mechanics and what you're doing, and the game gets out of the way and lets you play. What's fascinating is that this feeling can show up across wildly different games and different genres with different themes, and that's because it comes from a shared design principle, one that can shape players' behavior without most people even noticing it or thinking about it. Today on Design DNA, we're going to pull that apart, not by looking at components or rules, but what we're going to look at is how options given to players turn into agency, how that agency escalates into tension, and why movement can tell a better story than words. This is what makes it great. The game we're breaking down today is Five Tribes, the Gens of Mancala. Five Tribes is a game for 2 to 4 players designed by Bruno Catala and published by Days of Wonder back in 2014. As of today, it holds the 95th spot on the Board Game Geek Top 100. In Five Tribes, we as players are tasked with reunifying the divided tribes of the Sultanate of Mancala. If you can amass the most gold and glory, you'll fulfill the prophecy and be named Sultan. On the surface, this is a game about moving pieces around a board, but what it's really about is choosing how you want to win. Every round will tempt you with a handful of scoring opportunities and then force you to commit to one by picking up all the meeples from one tile and deciding where that caravan is headed. Are you going to chase something that will score you points right now? Will you set up an opportunity that you want to pounce on later? Or will you invest in a long-term big payoff if things go your way? The thing is, none of these are like the correct move. All 8 paths on the score sheet can lead to a win. What they allow you to do is express yourself as a player, and that really starts with the movement system. So once you pick up all those meeples, you're committed. You have to use the Mancala rule of dropping off one at a time as you move to a new tile. And each delivery is a careful calculation as it can set up future plays for you or your opponents. You see, Five Tribes never let you rest easy. Every piece you drop is a choice. Every space you visit or skip, a signal. And even before that, there's a huge critical question the game asks you at the beginning of every round. You have to look at that new board state that's developed, evaluate everyone's plans, and decide how many of your hard-earned victory points are you willing to spend right now to control this moment. When you blend these 3 mechanics together, the bidding to determine turn order that happens at the beginning of each round, the Mancala-style movement dropping meeples off around the desert, and multiple scoring paths to victory, these start to work in harmony to create a true sandbox. A sandbox where players can test their ability to read and evaluate the board, anticipate each other's intentions, and then express themselves freely. Five Tribes offers very little guidance and sets almost no boundaries. If you miss something, you'll end up leaving a huge scoring opportunity on the board for someone else, and there's no guarantee that you're going to be the one to claim the rewards. And this is where the game turns that agency into tension, because the decisions you make don't just matter on your turn, they echo into future rounds. As soon as the dust settles from your move, the bidding begins again. And suddenly, every player is forced to declare how confident they are in their read, their evaluation of the board. The twist is you're not just bidding currency. The gold that you're bidding with are also your victory points. So it's a real money where your mouth is type of situation. If you bid too little, you'll give up control exactly when you need it the most. And if you bid too much, you're burning points that you may never get back. When we look at the 2-player game, this pressure tightens even more. In a duel, a savvy player can string together multiple turns. They can get up to 4 uninterrupted actions, and that can swing the entire game in a single round. The great thing about Five Tribes is that none of this is random. The tension comes from knowing the stakes and choosing to push anyway. Is this the moment to sit back and watch your opponents put things into play? Or is this the time to push all in and make that big play yours? The shifting sands of Mancala ask you this question round after round. And the brilliance of this design is that it never lets you answer it just once. So you can't decide on turn one what kind of game it's going to be and then ride your plan to victory. A true competitor, one worthy of the title of Sultan of Mancala, has to prove something else: their ability to adapt, to react, to evolve. Because of the Mancala movement, the board is never static. This is a game about motion, paths, and patterns. There's an ever-changing story unfolding right in front of you. You'll see alliances form and shatter. Villages grow into opulent palaces. Elders summon powerful gens. Merchant caravans bringing new goods into play. Who you choose to move and where you move them creates new patterns, new scoring opportunities, and new stories. Like the tales of Sinbad, Ali Baba, and Aladdin from Arabian Nights that inspired it, Five Tribes uses the same components to tell a different story every time it hits the table. And in the end, it's up to you to make the moves that turn those moments into the legend of how you became Sultan. Five Tribes, with its colorful representation of the peoples of Mancala, proves that simple mechanics, when done well and tightly integrated with the theme, can create something that keeps pulling us back to the table over and over again long after its release. It may not be the new hotness, but this legacy of giving players a paintbrush to write their own story is one that designers can still learn from today. Are you a fan of Five Tribes? Favorite story? Was it the perfect last turn bid that sealed the win, or a devastating assassin play? Let me know in the comments, or check the video description for an invite to our Discord community so we can keep the conversation going. If you enjoy this type of analytical breakdown of games, hit the like button. It really does help me to grow the channel. And if you want more deep dives into what makes great games great, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode as I make my way through the Board Game Geek Top 100. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Till next time, good luck, have fun, and game on.